What's up guys, Michael Ragland here. In this video, we're going to be discussing two impromptu speaking frameworks that are going to help you make it through any last minute speech with ease. But before we get into these two frameworks, let's talk about how important it is to be open, honest, and vulnerable with your audience. Your number one job as a speaker is to make sure that that audience knows, likes, and trusts you, right? And the quickest way to do that and to establish that connection is just to be honest and vulnerable with your audience. So what that means that if you're nervous, hey, just say that you're nervous, right? That's gonna help put the crowd at ease. It's gonna lower those expectations. And what that's gonna allow you to do is to actually blow them away with how awesome you end up doing, even without preparation. So with that being said, let's run a quick scenario, a very common one that happens to a lot of people. All right, so here's how I would open up an impromptu speech that I'm having to do because my coworker was running late. It would probably start a little something like this. Hey guys, Michael Ragland here. As you know, I'm a bit nervous. This is an impromptu speech. Jeff is running a bit late. And I thought to myself, as soon as I knew that Jeff was running late, in my brain, I was like that kid in class thinking, don't pick me, don't pick me, don't pick me. But as soon as I saw the organizer approaching me, I knew I was in trouble. So obviously I hadn't had a lot of time to prepare for this speech because Jeff threw me under the bus like usual. But we're gonna go ahead and get through this. So here goes nothing, guys. See what I did there? I used humor to kind of diffuse the situation, and I was honest. I admitted that I was nervous and I was unprepared, setting the expectations for that crowd, letting them know what they're gonna get out of the speech before I even began. All right, and that brings us to our first framework. It's actually called the Fad Framework. Yeah, I said it, the Fad Framework. But what the F actually stands for is feeling. The A stands for anecdote or story, and the T stands for tying that story back to the original topic. That is the Fad Framework. Let's do a quick example of a speech using that framework. Hey, good afternoon, guys. I really wasn't expecting to speak today, but I really want to get up to share my feelings about my coworker, Jeff. I can be honest, I really didn't get along with Jeff when we first started at this company. The main reason being, he's a type A personality, he's a go-getter, and so am I. So we butted heads straight away. He came in and wanted to change things and do things this way. I know some of you guys can relate, but what I actually found out is we had a lot more in common. He actually pushed me to be better than I was when he first started, and he encouraged me to push others around me. We achieved some amazing results in the company due to Jeff being here. I hate to see him go, but he's going on to work with a company that we work with hand in hand. So we're gonna see a lot more out of Jeff. I really, really appreciate all the stuff that he did, Jeff. Just a big round of applause for Jeff. You're much appreciated, man, and we'll definitely see you on the other side, brother. It was great working with you. Now, do you see what I did in that speech? I started off being super honest, right? I said that I really didn't even get along with Jeff when he first came to the company. But then I shared a little story about some of the things that he was doing, right? Like trying to change things and do things his way, which is very common in a lot of workplaces, and we butted heads because of our personalities. But I kind of tied it back and talked about all the things that he taught me and that he actually made me a better person and shared my feelings again about how much he was gonna be missed. So that was the Fad Framework. Okay guys, this next framework is titled PREP. That stands for point, reasons, examples, and then going back and restating your point. PREP. So let's do a quick example of that. So I'm a huge sports fan. I'm a huge fan of LeBron James. So I always have arguments with my friends about why I personally think LeBron James is the greatest all-around basketball player ever. Not the greatest winner, right? Not the greatest scorer, not the greatest rebounder, but greatest all-around. That's what I think. That's my point. My reasons is that he can defend any position. He's been with 3 different teams and it made them great. Like in my opinion, if it wasn't for all the things that happened, the Lakers are going to take the championship this year. Feel free to argue about that with me in the comments, by the way. But I feel like they're going to take the championship, man. Like there's no position that LeBron James can't defend. There's nobody who came into the league with as much pressure as LeBron James had on his shoulders. He was called the chosen one in high school. Like media was following him since like a sophomore. I saw this guy on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was in like 11th grade, so that's why I think LeBron James is the greatest all-around basketball player. So what I just demonstrated there, guys, was the PREP framework. My point was LeBron James is the best all-around basketball player. Reasons, I went through how to make teams better. He can defend every position. I showed examples. I talked about different teams he went to, and then I restated my point at the end. Guys, if you follow these 2 frameworks, you're gonna be able to rock any impromptu speech with ease, but use them with caution, because what's gonna end up happening, you're gonna become that go-to person at your job or at school. Anytime somebody bails out, you need to deliver impromptu speech, that might just become you. So be very careful with how you use these newfound skills. If you found this video helpful, you'll probably love this video as well. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for hot and fresh public speaking tips delivered to your timeline every week. Peace.